Hey guys, welcome to another deck profile. We've got VJ here with his top 64 deck from the UK Nats, and he played Virtual World. Just quickly, do you want to tell us why you played Virtual World for this event?
Yep. So yada 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 flashbacking. uh, we started playing it a few months back, dropping Light Sworns. Yeah, because we've been playing Light Sworns for years. We didn't drop it. We're just holding off until
Took a
Tier
little break.
Elements come,
A little break.
and then Light Sworns become Tier 0. You'll
Let's
know.
go.
Um, so Virtual Worlds. Yeah. So how it started, I wanted to pick up something more competitive than Light Sworns. I did get an invite, by the way. Fun fact: we got an invite with Light Sworns, so
Hype.
that's on my belt.
Hype, baby.
In 2022, to clarify. Um,
Not
so
2009, guys.
no. Uh, so Virtual Worlds budget competitive, and that was it. That's how we started. So keep that
Sweet.
in mind. We were trying to keep it budget. Yeah, it always seems to stray away, but the thought's there.
We tried, boys.
We tried, boys. So Virtual World, it's actually Virtual World Brave now, but
Brave
we did
World.
start. Yeah, yeah, Brave World. We started with Virtual World Pure, uh, thanks to Coach Connor who inspired us because he topped the regional. I don't know if he won uh, with Virtual World, and it looked kind of affordable. Again, budget. So I just emulated that, asked him some pointers how to build it, and we started with his build. And then later on, it was Jacob Kendrick, Coach Jacob, who coached us into the slightly more modern, like 1 month more modern Virtual Worlds. So, yep.
Nice.
And then later on, we question mark mastered it, maybe. Uh, Probably not because of the live stream. We saw in the live stream we clearly have not mastered it.
Well,
So we're a work in
a
progress. We're a
very
work in progress.
adept, advanced, you're an
Yeah,
advanced duelist with it at least.
it's like a professional rookie.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
Right, so I'll go with the main deck, go through the deck list.
So we've got the
So
main
three
guy
Lulu.
herself, Lulu.
Three Lulu. Let me do it like this. Like we did with our Lightsworn deck profile actually. Three Lulu. There you go. And then two Lao Lao. One Yan Yan. Three Lily. Three GG. So you've got 12 virtual worlds. That's been standard. So it's not standard to play one Yan Yan, but this deck's really tight, so you had to cut it. Yeah, so 12 virtual worlds. That's it. With the virtual worlds, what you do is just you try to get to your Lulu because it gives you super value.
Yeah.
And then as you go through it, with this build, my build, the way I play anyway, you try to make 2 level 6s as fast as possible. And then you can make Beatrice, and that just leads to all your plays. With, for example, Beatrice dumps the Scythe during your opponent's turn, and then you can bring it back with a Barone that you summon using the Adventure Engine package. This also, you can send the Water Enchantress with the Beatrice off of the Virtual Worlds engine. So Virtual Worlds, you're playing first, and then say you didn't have your Adventure Engine, AO Adventure World. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
It's a pretty high name, man.
That might be the name. Yes, so you might not have access to your Adventure Engine, but you have access to your Virtual World. So you go Virtual World, and then you send this with Beatrice, and then you then have access to it. So that's the standard 3 Water Enchantress Griffin, Rewrite, one Fateful, and one Dracoback. In some instances, you might have the Dracoback in hand, and then it does good. It's funny. It works like that. uh, one TTT, because I'm a weird player, and I like to have just one of things sometimes, because I don't like having more than one. How is this for contradiction? Two Power of Desires. So we only like one of things that you can only activate one of, but we make exceptions here.
Well, in theory, desires is activate, and I'm guessing tactics is use.
I think they're both activate. Yeah, they're both activate.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You can deactivate. Yeah, they're both activate. That's saucy. They're both activate.
Negate me, bro.
But yeah, so DTT did come up at regional at some point. So I went through my virtual world combo. He nibbed me, and then I TTT'd him. Then I got rid of his second level 3 summon. So it was a PK, obviously.
Yeah.
So he had to top deck, and he didn't top deck anything great. So
Was this a
it did come up
hench
one
token
of.
as well?
Yeah, it was a hench token. 3 droplets. We've gone through the monsters, and I don't play hand traps. So this Forbidden Droplets lets you play going second. Also good, like setting it, going first.
It's the budget strat, right? Save money on hand traps and just play
Yeah, exactly.
droplets,
Am
right?
I right?
Right? Right?
Budget.
Let's go.
uh, uh, Play the Brave Engine budget. Am I right? So with droplets as well, and this deck is so good. So you basically send droplets, water enchantress. I know other decks that play adventure play that, like send that and they get value off of it. But you also have access to
It's
like
like,
King Long and Janwu.
yeah, I was going to
So
say
if
like
you
a
send these as a 3,
boost. Yeah,
and then you can like search off of that, and it's just really good.
it's pretty good.
So that's synergy.
We do love some synergy.
3 Italies. Because it's 3, and it's another virtual world name, and a level 3 tuner that you can use with Griffin Rider and make a level 10. Yeah, Italy in this deck is good. Not as good as Punk, as the Punk's Italies. Oh, their Italies are nuts. Yep. 3 Kowloon. It's really good. Please don't ash it or I cry. It's like I have King Long in hand. I'm joking. Nah, but these ratios are just super standard. So 2 Chuche and 1 Jiangwu. I've seen people play with the ratios. I won't say they're incorrect. I'd say they're probably correct because they've thought about it, but I never really thought about it. I just played this because it's been okay. But I feel like you could cut one of this for something good. But I don't know what it is, so I ain't do it. Right. Extra deck. Token. Zeus. 1 Zeus. 1 Gaia Charger. 1 Fan. Removal. M7. Recycle and removal. 1 Beatrice and 1 Dante. I know what you're thinking. We were actually playing VA. And yep, it did come up. Beatrice effect to summon Dante did come up twice. We made a Zeus 1 time over it. We attacked into a defense position monster, made a Zeus, just for the memes. But also it's a 3k body that can attach something if they pop something else. Yep, So that's that. Uh, this guy lets you overlay over the rank sixes, and then gives you more materials when you after you attack. You get into Zeus.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Uh, double baloney.
Because, like we were saying
Uh,
before, we got to keep
yeah,
the
because
budget.
budget, boys and girls. I don't know how it happens. It just happens, you know. Yeah. So Baroni is your main guy that summons anything that you dump to the grave with Beatrice. Uh, so like one card in the side deck and also the scythe. So that's how that works. Baroni you can make easily with like the level 4 token with level 6 tuners and also the level 7 Griffin Rider with level 3 tuners. I've got Chen Ying. It's really good. Uh, I think I summoned it once in at Nats, just to have a big attack for game, but like its use is against like a towers monster. Like you can make this. Usually, if you make this, it's with desires. It's like 4,300 attack, so it's really good
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
for that. Uh, Croco Dragon, mostly for the draw, but also it's good for backrow decks, so you can interact in your opponent's turn and pop cards. Shan, Juju, uh, Coral Dragon, Stardust Charge Warrior. So these Stardust Charge Warrior and Coral Dragon and Croco Dragon just draw cards. And as you know, Virtual World does brick, so if you can draw, that'll help you out. We played Black Wings as well as BA, so we played BA and Black Wings. Nah, Blackwing, no thumb. On paper, he's our Dragoon out.
Yeah, we got a
Okay,
Dragoon out. Way to win in
okay.
time.
Oh, heyo. Oh, it wins in time. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, it does. It does deal 800 damage, but also non-targeting drops the attack by 800.
Pretty good. So, you didn't play any links. Did you feel like, you were missing links at any point? Was there any like,
Oh, all the time. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because I always feel like, oh, it would be nice to have links. I just got
yeah,
dim barriered. That would be nice to have links. But you know, uh, the moment you play virtual worlds and their effects, you're locked into leveled or ranked monsters only, so you can't really play links. Um, but yeah, all the time. It's just no space for it. I don't think. Not sure
yeah? It
what I
does
would
seem a
cut
bit
for it.
tight. There's not really. I guess like Dante
Everything has
probably.
utility.
Yeah, Dante's the only real flex spot, I suppose. And
It
even
it
then, it's like what
it
one
isn't.
link
Oh,
could
this boy put in so much work. So
put in the work.
you
Did you
play
mill
like
free?
so what they do is they'd go dim barrier, call synchros, and I'll go and then I make Dante, then I mill three, then maybe I mill a water enchantress, and then I have the brave engine, and then I'd attack with Dante's 2/5, and then it turn into a
Slap
Zeus.
a Zeus on there. Yeah, I mean that's pretty legit. I won't lie.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
good.
like it. I like it. It's good. It's good. But yeah, so like I said, it's extra deck's pretty tight. Right, side deck. Spell Canceller. With the Scythe, it switches between the Scythe and the Spell Canceller. If I'm not sure whether I'm gonna block them out of the extra deck or the spell cards, then I play both. But it's pretty rare. I either go either if the Scythe is dead, like against Fluendaries, for example, I switch in the Spell Canceller. Also, this was like just the idea of this came up because of the Sky Striker that won that YCS
Yeah.
Hartford, I think. And I was like, what's a win button? But then it just so happened to be really good against everything else, like generically. Right, three draw. Uh, I always say it's the one of the top two hand traps of this format. We don't know what the other one is, but definitely top two.
Yeah, I'd say that. I guess for me it'd be in between Ash or Imperm for like the other one, or maybe I'd just say that's the top three
Maybe.
for me. Maybe that I'd say they're the top three for me. Ash,
Yeah,
Imperm,
maybe,
Joel.
maybe. Ash, I watched your deck profile and I agree when you said Ash is the best one for one, and it really is.
And like hitting their branded fusion, hitting their desires. Like sometimes like you don't know what your opponent has in their hand, so when they activate just a generic search card, I would just be like,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
because you can go off the logic that they bricked, and
yeah,
that's fine. Like let's say if you're a game up and you just want to like try and end the game as quickly as possible, but if you ash the first thing they do and they have a tactics or that was just the bait, I just rather
yeah.
hold ash for the most significant play. And
Hmm.
yeah, I just feel like Ash is just so good at one for one trading.
And it's like in a niche like mid, slightly simplified game state. Ash like is a really good game changer as well.
I feel like Scrub League's probably what taught me how to use Ash the best. And then why are you using Ash in Scrub League anyway, right? Right?
Bro, that's illegal. Like Ash is too strong.
Way too strong.
One speaking of Ghost Sisters, we played one Ghost Sisters Spooky Dogwood. Um, it's our pseudo maxi pseudo maxi
Card is
pseudo
pretty
maxi.
good. It's pretty good.
So yeah, it
Asks
just stunts.
questions.
It stunts their
He asks questions.
it stunts their plays. So for example, they activate branded fusion. Example Despia. You're guaranteed to gain life points off of that, and then it's makes them think whether they want to give you, I don't know, an extra 6,000 life points, or they'll just or they'll go all in and give you like, I don't know, 20,000 life points because
Because
that's
like
that deck
let's be
summons
honest.
way too much. They just recycle and then
Minimum they're making Mirror Jade, right? So like you said,
yeah,
minimum you're getting 5/5. Like and yeah, from there it just depends whether they think to themselves the extra life points won't make a difference. Closer it
yeah,
is to time, the more relevant that card becomes.
yeah. But no, even outside of time restrictions, it's like, can I come back with in a timely manner if I give him 20,000 life points? Probably not. So then you have to come at decision. But it was just a one-off basically because I had like only one spot left for something impactful, and that was it. It's a one-off anyway, so
I like it.
one token collector. You could argue we can bump this to two, but we can send it with Beatrice, so
Yeah, see, that's what I was
it's like
thinking. I was like, yeah, like just being able to foolish that is crazy.
just one is fine. Um, yeah, and then against Sword Soul, I suppose you keep everything else like the droplets. But yeah, it's a win button if you're going first against slightly bad Sword Soul players. Otherwise, good players will play around it. Like
Yeah.
they can make a board. Um, Necroworld Banshee, really good against Flunderies. Uh, also, slightly hinders Drytron? Question mark. Never played against it, but maybe because their ritual requires machine uh, tributes.
Okay, that's pretty legit.
Um, yeah, and then again, same with the token collector. You can send it of Beatrice. So Beatrice is like mad utility in this deck. Um, three twins. Quick play. Lets you chain to anti-spell. And yeah, the discard in this deck is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Sometimes you
for
just want
mana
to
bomb.
discard, and you don't neg from discarding sometimes. So if you're discarding even this, you get value off of it later on. So yeah, Twin Twisters over Lightning Storms, because Lightning Storm at some point you might not be able to play in the middle of the duel, and also budget key. That's why we're not playing Lightning Storm for boys and girls. Evenly matched
Pretty calm.
because uh, like two regionals ago, I was just thinking against Despia, if I just had evenly matched, I could level this game, like, because it would trigger their back row, That's how I feel anyway. I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah, it'll most likely
I'm a
force
very
you to
ignorant player,
use their board away. Like,
so
I mean, you can even bluff evenly match in some matchups, and like people will just like get rid of their board without you
yeah,
even
exactly.
activating it, which I think's kind of weird to be honest. Because like, if you can get rid of your board anyway, unless it's like a card, like the card you're using to get rid of it, you need to keep as well. Like, I just feel like you'd wait for the evenly match, but I don't know. It
I
seems
do
so
like to
loose
bluff
anyway.
evenly,
Yeah.
like especially when I'm not really attacking that turn anyway, so I just bluff it. Um, the win button,
Yeah.
super good.
So,
Have to play it. We do OTK in this deck, so
yeah, there's nothing more
yep,
demoralizing than being a trap player under reboot. It's just watching them do everything. So you better
yeah,
have nip, kid.
yep. So that's our deck pretty much.
Very nice. So just briefly, what were your matchups?
Matchups. Let me consult my notes. Round one, we played against Fluanderies. We won. Yeah, our side deck's pretty good against Fluanderies, so that's helped us because we played like 3 Fluanderies matchups. Uh, round two, Despia, we lost in time because they made the Masquerade guy 3 minutes left, and we didn't open droplets. Basically, I think we could have turned it around with droplets, but yeah, that's what you get for not playing hand traps. Am I right? Uh, Despia, round three, Fluanderies, we drew. Yeah, just rip, I suppose. Round four, Despia, we won. Round five, Fluanderies, we won. Round six, we played against some guy who came from France, actually. He played 60 card Punk Theory and Brave. Cool guy. But he inspired me to play, like, to at least think about playing Herald, because it's like, it protects you from droplets, at least from hand.
Yeah.
So what that means is during the standby phase, unless they have like quick play cards they can play before they droplets, then you're kind of protected from the droplets.
Wait, is Sheng? Can you end on Sheng Sheng and um, Herald?
Oh, Shenshen and Herald.
Yeah, is that possible?
Is that possible? Yeah, yeah, should be.
Is Sheng
So
Sheng Sheng's macro on board, right?
macro from field,
Yeah, so they're
and
just not
then
dropping at that point, right?
yeah, and then Herald covers the hand and the yeah, not droplet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Fair and balanced. But then you know there'll be that
Oh,
one kid that's like a
yo.
dark ruler.
No, no, no. So I play spell canceller, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean, potentially. I don't know how hard of a board that would have to be, but like spell canceller, Shenshen, Herald of the Arclight, cool, yeah.
Skill.
So, so that's part of the changes I'd probably make in the deck. I'd probably add a really small uh, Magician Souls engine, so I could play a level one, and then also dump spell and traps to draw cards, which is like additional snowball value,
We take that.
and then also level one, level three tuner make Herald. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so this guy who played in round six, who I played in round six, he was playing 60 card Punk Theory and Brave, and he was telling me, um, yeah, my he's because game one I scythe locked him and whatever, full on combo, and he was like, oh, okay, 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 and then he liked it, and then I saw him in game two the way he did it, and he said, yeah, it's just much better than your one. He said to me like straight up, and I was like, I was just agreeing. I was like, you're right, it is. So yeah, uh, but we managed to get that in game three. Round seven, Dynamorphia, chill guy. Shout outs to Daniel. Uh, yeah, he's boys with Seb. we both know Seb. Round 8, Despia, we won. So that was end of day one. We ended on one loss, one draw. So
Nice.
that was pretty cool.
I mean, it's pretty
Uh,
impressive considering I think you
yeah.
were that score after round three, so you just won out from that point for the rest of the day, day one.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's crazy thinking about it that way. Yeah. Whoa. One.
Let's go,
That's
man.
wild. We won
Five,
5 in a row. That's
five.
crazy. Uh, round 9, Despia. We won the dice roll, bro. But we misplayed game 1. So we lost game 1. And then we just lost the advantage there. I think we could have won, but if we hadn't misplayed.
It is what it is.
Round 10, Punk Brave. Uh, we won Punk Brave, and then in Top Cut, we lost against a similar deck, Punk
Yeah,
Therion.
Punk Theron, yeah.
Yeah, that was on live stream. So don't watch it, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it
It's
weren't
really
that
bad.
bad. It weren't that
Because
bad.
I was already playing, like, I was too relaxed because I'd
Yeah,
already
it's like
topped
we
and it's
top,
like,
baby. Let's go. Yeah.
we'd already topped, so we were too relaxed.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is, man. Like
It did humble me, like thinking,
that's always
uh,
nice, man.
you know, there's levels, and then if you get to that level, sometimes you're just not prepared because you've never been to that level. So
Yeah, I'd agree with that. To be honest, I think once you go past like Swiss into the top cut, you gotta understand that at minimum the player you're playing is at least as good as you. I mean, it's like that in Swiss, but there's like that added effect where it's like they're trying to knock you out, man, trying to
yeah,
KO you.
hmm
You have to be prepared.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the deck.
fantastic. Before we go, you got any shout outs, bro?
Yeah, shout outs. Shout outs to again Virtual World coaches. My two coaches, we always give them shout outs, even though they dropped Virtual Worlds, and we're the only one going at it still.
Still
Coach,
repping it. Only
Coach,
one we topped at Nats.
Coach Connor and Coach Jacob. Um, shout outs to Coach Andre for his words of wisdom. He always gives us words of wisdom. You give us words of wisdom between rounds because we're not a technical player. We play by intuition. So like, I'm not gonna ask you, oh, what's the best way to play this? Because I'll forget. Or like, how do I play against this deck? It's like, no, forget that. Just give me words of wisdom.
Keep me hyped.
Have you got any words of wisdom for us,
Um,
Andre,
just keep doing
for
what
the
you're doing.
internet?
Keep doing what you're doing. Clearly, it's working, bro.
Yeah.
Stay
Okay.
hungry. Stay hungry. Stay
Yeah.
humble. That's all we can
Oh
do in
yes.
life. That's all we can do.
Yes, coach. Yeah, shout outs to Coach Boovin. He kept us level headed when we were going into the last round of Swiss.
I'll second that.
When we were looking, when we were like thinking, oh, yeah, it's unlikely we're going to top now because we lost the last round. It was like, yeah, it's fine, just play, just play. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
it did help calm me
he,
down. That's
he's
good.
good. He's good. He's good at that. I have to admit. I mean, I
Yeah,
said I was in the same boat as you. I lost round 9, and I was like a little bit like that
yeah.
as well. And he just said the same thing to both of us. Like
Mm,
just chill. Yeah.
he's right. So, but don't tell him that.
Never tell him that.
uh, so yeah, I think that's pretty much. Oh, shout outs to Coach Jam. Unlikely shout out, but he got us
Character
into
with free.
competitive Yu-Gi-Ohs. I still remember the first day I met Jamil or James.
What a legend.
Yeah, he let me borrow his Sylvan deck. Um, this was when I think Soul Charge was still legal,
Oh,
so
triple
it was a
soul
good deck.
charge.
So it was a good deck, but my guy literally played full power cleave arts against me,
But
no mercy,
did he say he bricked and then wrecked your board? Wrecked your
all the
world.
time, all the time. But
That's
yeah,
the best, man.
he taught us like the pendulum mechanic and That's what really got me back into the game. I was like, what is this pendulum?
Oh, it's the opposite. I saw pendulums ran the other direction. I'm like, wait, what? Soul charge every turn? No way.
Broken.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then shout outs to our non OTS locals, FTK Gaming. One day, one day in the future, soon TM. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Sweet.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, bro. So that was VJ's, because I was already getting ready to say virtual world. That was VJ's
Or V Day.
V-Day, baby.
Adventure World, I think.
Adventure World. Yeah, that was VJ's top 64 Adventure World deck list. Only Virtual World top Nats, UK Nats this year. So yeah, thank you.